Good morning, guys. So yesterday we ended at what's this? We ended at 10:20. We were analyzing AUT and ZT, right? So now we continue and we'll start from AUT JPS. Can do uh mm, what and 18 minutes each. It's fine. So first is AUT JPY, right? Okay. Oof. I hope everyone had a very good night's sleep because it's going to be a long day, just a bit. Okay. But we move one step ahead by just finishing our tasks. If we do this one, we go to the next one. You see? Do this one, we go to the next one. You see? By the time we know it, we are done with the day. That's just like that. That's how we go about the day, okay? If you try to zoom out the day and say, it's long, I have a lot of things to do, it becomes hard to even have the courage to uh, move a step ahead, okay? Yeah. But so like this, we've started. If we do this one, we won't remain with three. We'll do another one at what? I think 11. We'll remain with 12. We'll remain with one. You see, so uh, that's just how we that's just how we do it. Okay. So yeah, I was saying AUDJPY. If you look at the weekly time frame, um, this is tricky. Uh, How is this trick? Hmm? Because first of all, if you look at this, you can see price made the price was bullish and this was a higher low. This was a high and price made the higher low. That failed to break above, so it wasn't a higher low. But then price made this higher low and made the high, right? And price needs to sell, and then price needs to retest here. You see? So the moment price broke below, it went bearish by taking out this higher low here. You see? That's when price went bearish. Let me try to replace so you can follow it. This is where we are in the market, right? If you see why I always tell you price will always go and touch that level that led to the break. You see? I think let me even try to replay this even more. Yeah, up to this level. So you can see that yes, there's this OG level, right? The daily time frame. But there's this point which led to the break, right? You see, so see what price does next. Starts with a bullish momentum. And what does it do? It comes back and touches this level. You see? So when it comes back and touches this level, it comes so it can respect this point, as I was telling you. You see? So that's how the market just moves. When you see this level that leads to the higher, just know, oh, it's a higher low. Price will come back when you respect that low. Okay? Because it's the level that led to the break. Okay? So you just have to be ready for this kind of pullbacks. Whether in the weekly, the daily, any time frame, this happens. Okay? So let's see what happens next. Then you see price tries to buy at this OG level, buys a bit, but then comes back there. Let's see why. Okay, it buys, makes another, makes another high, probably in the 4 hour time frame. But you see, this happens first when price does what? Price respects this level. You see? Then this level is respected. So that's the importance of this level, okay? Then what happens? Uh, Price retest, and then price makes a high there. Okay, so when price makes a high, what happens now? We go bullish. How? Price makes a high, retest, can see it plays around this level but buys above. Uh, just have you ever had that feeling where you remember the taste of something? Like you remember every taste of the thing. Just remembered something I used to eat when I was young. I felt so good. Wish I could find it here. Now that we are bullish, here our minds were set to buy when price comes back here, right? Yeah, because this is where we are. You see? But then look what happens next. Price doesn't shift, price shifts, right? After this close. See? So in the Monday, maybe Tuesday there, when you're seeing price here, you'd be thinking to yourself, okay, since we are here, this is a sign that we might what? Might buy more, right? Yeah, but then you see all of a sudden the weekly changes. See? So you see how this weekly is fast to change. See how we are above this level, now we are below and we are bearish. So the moment we are bearish, what do we start looking for? Sales at this level going down, right? Okay, let's see what happens. You see what happens next? What does price do? Price also, again, it does what? It respects the level that led to the what? The break again. You see? And you might think it won't respect because of this weekly close, but what happens? Price comes back here. Then once since price is at this level, it can now do whatever it wants because it has now respected the level. You see? So now see what happens next. You see now it's fighting, and you see how it closed with the what am I doing? It closed with the rejection, but at least it did what? It first respected this level. And what did price do? Uh Price ended up making another what? Lower low, uh lower high, lower low. You see? That's what price ended up doing. So this point here led to the massive break. Okay? Then let's see what happens next. What does price do again? It comes back to do what? To respect this level. You see? This level that led to the sell. You see? With this pullback. Even if it doesn't touch it, at least you can see price try to retest it, right? And this is where price is now. Okay? So, at this point, in the weekly time frame only, price has every right to sell. Okay? Every right to sell. And since price has every right to sell, this is the lowest point we can go. For I know this one. Why am I saying it has every right to sell? Because it has now respected the level that led to the break, right? So now it can do anything it wants. And let's see in the daily time frame, right? Okay, yeah. And you see something important that happens in the daily time frame. Let me just start from here. Okay. So price made the higher low, higher high, right? And shifted, went bearish, and price uh came back at this level. This time price didn't respect this one. Okay, so at this point I can't take any entry until price made the lower low. That's when I knew, okay, this zone is invalid for now, but price would definitely come and fill out this. That's to respect this level regardless. Okay, so price makes out this low. And what does price do? The daily time frame. Price comes back. Even if we consider this to be a lower high and a lower low, price comes back to respect this level, you see, and then makes a new lower low here. So let me just try to zoom in so you can see the lower low. If I try to put this here, you can see that price has taking out the level, you see? So since price has taken out the level, what does this mean in the daily time frame? Hmm? Hmm? Hmm. Uh, so what happens next? Since we are now bearish on the daily time frame, it would be nice for the daily time frame to make another one bearish engulfing here. Okay. What can I use? Bearish. Uh, if we can see something like this happening either Monday, Tuesday, this would be fun. Yeah. Then I'll be convinced what to buy. And I think this might happen. Okay. And we'll have a very nice head and shoulder in the daily time frame. You see? This is what we have. So it is a very nice uh entry. But let's see what the 4 hour is saying. Yeah, even the 4 hour makes sense with what I'm trying to say to you. If you can clearly see what's happening here, you can tell that this was the 4 hour lower low, lower high, lower low, right? And this was just market structure. But this structure here led to the high high. And so we were expecting price to come back here. So if it wants to buy, it can continue buying, but it broke below. See? And what led to the break below? This point here. Uh, this level here, right? Is what led to the break below here. Right? So then what do I need to do? It's simple. Since we are below, I have to wait for price to come back here and sell. Right? But you can ask me, but Arthur, why did it not sell? Remember what I used to tell you, if this is my selling zone in the 4 hour time frame, this whole level here, okay? And this is my selling zone, right? And this is where I have to sell from. And price comes back here. Where do you think I'll put my stop loss? Here. My stop loss has to be all the way up there. Meaning I have to be fine with price coming back in this zone and be okay with my entry. Okay? Suppose we are an engulfing here or an entry as entry level. This is where my stop has to be. Okay? So that's why most of the time these trades don't play out when there's a huge distance from what the entry section and the lower high or the higher low. Okay. So what happens? You have to wait, and I told you, I think last month that price it usually does, it fails to respect the level, so it can fill out all this momentum here of you expecting price to come back here, so that the moment price comes and break below here and give you a retest, once you enter, it will give you a very nice let me just do this. How can I use this? Wow. Sorry, I'm open. Very soon we got the next pair. So what I'm saying is price, once price comes back here, and breaks below, and then because it has to retest this level, right? Once it retests and give us the engulfing, uh, here, even if the engulfing makes a lower low, even much better, because then you will know you have a new lower low and lower high, which is this level here, and your take profit, which is right around this level, right? Okay. Or even if this doesn't happen, you know when you place your entry here, at least your stop loss can be reduced to this zone here, right? This level here. You see? Because you already have the knowledge that price has taken out this zone. And what price is trying to do with this engulfing is to break below and make a new lower low after taking out this level. You see? So that's the whole game. That's why you saw me say that's why you saw me say in the daily time frame that I need another daily time frame candle that will be the bearish engulfing. Because I know in the forward time frame this is what will happen. You see? So that's it for this pair. And let's try to see what USD card has for us. Hmm? This is the pair we took in May, the last trade. And since then, I've not caught any trade, but we show up every day like we caught 50 trades. That's what I want you guys to be. Be willing to show up even when there is nothing, there's no payout, there's no something to show up for, but only you and your natural grind. That's when it counts. Okay, that's when it counts. So, brother, yeah. Well, right now, my brother, you just keep going, brother. Don't let nobody stop you, brother. Okay. So what do we have here? Presence enough for me. What do we have here? This is the weekly time frame. You see why I didn't pick it? And again, I'm not going to pick this trade. Why? Because I need to give it time to come back at this level here. Okay. But to be honest with you, with my experience in the markets, price is likely to come back. Very much like. And will come back here. Okay. Uh, It may have a short sale here, a short buy, but it will come back here. Okay? Because I've showed you in my past videos and you've seen it for yourselves. Okay? So, uh, if we knew that this is what would happen, we'd have held this trade all the way up here. And my friend told me to hold this by, steps. But with time, we'll be doing this. You see? In the years to come, we'll be doing this. Just give us time, okay? Just give us time. It's not a rush. We'll get there soon enough. Okay? Uh, the next thing is Next thing is uh okay, at this point, it's the next thing, right? Because if price comes back here, how is it 49? Then we can see how much we will. How would then we can decide if we buy or sell, okay? Look at the daily time frame. Also, yes, the only trick is there's no trick actually, it's just waiting for price to come back here. But if price comes back here, it will just show us if there is a chance that we might catch a buy, a small buy, and come out from this level, or price is coming back all the way down here and give you the longest buy you've ever seen again up to that zone. Okay. So we'll just see how it reacts when price is here. Imagine this is the higher low and this is the higher high. Okay. So price has every right to do anything it wants in this zone. Anything. You see. Mm, so we'll just wait and see what it does when it comes back here or when it comes back at this point. And I was expecting this sale to happen, a drop next week, but I don't know why price was took long because I really, especially when we had this Thursday close, I was expecting price to then close below here and just try to finish up with the move. You see? But even on a holiday, the US gained power over the Canadian dollar, which made things even a bit longer. So we have to wait more in this week and see what price will do. Yeah, then the 4 hour will follow up as usual. As you can see right now, let's see what's going on. This was the higher low, high high. Price didn't break above or below. So in the 4 hour, this is what's going on. Price is bullish until price takes out these positions, right? So what's going on right now is just market structure. Okay? It's just market structure. And there was even a trade here. Let's say if you follow the 4 hour time frame, you can see when price came back here. Oh no, there was no trade. You can see that price we tested, but no entry. Broke below, broke above, no entry. Broke below, made some sort of low high, but nothing still. Broke above. So now, if this is your entry point, you wait for price to make a retest here and then engulf in, you see? And then you can catch your sneaky buy at this level and put your stop around this level or this low. As long as here, because the 1 hour will speak for you and it will show you what's going on, or the 2 hour time frame. So in this case, the 2 hour time frame is only allowing you to put your stop here. Let's see what the 1 hour says. Even the 1 hour is only allowing you to put your stop here. Okay, especially the 1 hour is been bullish So when the one now comes back here, you need to wait for it to shift and it will give you a perfect shift and entry. Meaning in the one now, meaning there is a chance that you may reduce your stop to this shift wherever the last low will be when it pushes back here. You see, and you can enter. Unless if there was no any new lower higher high, then this would be your only way to entry as your stop. But if price comes back here, it has to shift in the 1 hour, meaning there's a potential to make a new lower low, and there will be a new higher high and a new higher low. So this gives you a chance that you may reduce your stop loss around this zone. Okay. So when you enter this, then you target this level here. See? Because the daily is bullish, weekly is bullish, 4 hour is also bullish. This is the 4 hour entry. Uh, you see? So you can also do that. But the reason why this wouldn't happen is because it's not at the daily OG level. Okay? But if this was at this point here, this would be a very nice trade to take. Very nice trade. Imagine if we increase our stop up here, we only benefit half of what we can benefit when we are here. So it's just mind games. So I think we can end here. Yeah, we can end here. And I'll see you guys around the next session. Have a very nice morning. Some of you, I don't know the time you'll be watching this, but yeah, for me now, I'm going to enjoy my morning and then take it from there. Okay, God bless. Zero, that's why you sing of the way, but let me show you. That's good. Can you see what's going on here? Have you seen these degrees? This, and I'm inside, okay? And if I'm inside, it's at like 1 degrees. What do you expect in the other degrees? When I'm outside, because here it's cooler. So if I go out to the water, suppose maybe we affect 2, okay? But that's just the range. I can check my phone. So you see, like on my phone, it's showing 30, but on my laptop, it's showing 21, you see? So this means uh, it will change as time goes on, okay? So anyway, let's continue now. So GPP card, right? If I put on the weekly time frame, and if I remind you to how we found ourselves here, best way to do it is to try and trickle back to where all this started, right? Yeah. We were looking for buys. Um, the moment we saw price breaking above this level, right? Why? Let me show you something. This was a lower high. This was our lower low, right? So, uh, the moment price just broke above this level here, you can see that what we needed to have, what we needed was price to start buying, right? Because in this case, let me try to reverse this a bit more. If you're at this point here, obviously you start looking for sales, right? And this will be the first point you'll be interested in sales, right? Like I always tell you, the point that led to the lower low is always retested, you see? And price has retested this point, you see? So, uh, it's a sign, like I always tell you, that price will always respect the previous lower low when it makes another lower low, or the previous higher high when it makes a new higher high. Okay. Sometimes that can't even be a higher high, it can just be a resistance that led to a higher high or a lower low. Okay. So in this case, what happens? This becomes the level that we are talking about, right? Um, this level here. So what happens? Price will test it, and let's see what it does. Like the price will test it, like breaks above, but the market candle doesn't yet close. I'm just showing you this because then if you switch to daily time frame, you see, if you switch to daily time frame, this is what you're having now. You see? The only bad part in daily time frame is um, price made the lower high, and lower low, but it also made another lower high, and another lower low, you see? So when price broke above, it also created another higher low and another higher high, you see? So when price was here, we were bullish. So we needed what? We needed price to make another higher low, another higher high, then price shifts. That's what we needed, right? But let's see what happens. You need to be paying attention to the days. So this is Thursday. Okay. So this is Friday. You see? So what does price do on Friday? It makes a pivot for what? For the possible high we need. So we can what? Wait for the shift, you see? Hmm. So if we go back to the weekly time frame, what we just get is the perfect what I think. What we just get is mm, the perfect retest, you see? So in this case, even me, I would be looking for sales. The only bad part is that the day is bullish. If the day was bearish, this would be a very perfect trade to catch with the faith of price dropping at this level even lower. Because it makes sense. And look what happens. Okay. This is the weekly time frame. Remember, we're waiting. Okay. So the weekly time frame closes. Let me just wind this. So remember, we're waiting for the daily shift, right? So let's see what happens in the daily. So you can see this is the daily high, daily high low, daily high. So this low point here was supposed to break, you see, and it almost broke by almost a few inches at this level. You see? The price didn't do that. So what did then price do? Mm, it then let down, rejected bearish. But as a trader, when you are seeing that rejection, we haven't seen more opportunity. Because now we know if this is Friday, come Monday, uh, might get the high, then a shift, and that's it for all we need to catch the sell, right? Mhm. So let's see what happens. Just a big fast swap and move. Not fun for the other here. Let's see what happens. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, okay, Thursday. Mm, no, this too far. See what happens. Um, the trade is ruined. How? Because yes, we needed this break, but look at where it is happening from. Look at the disappointment. So, and our dream was price to only break above this level, or maybe close here, and then have the next bearish candle selling below, you see, and taking out this higher low, and then we can see our way through this sale, right? Mhm. That was the whole plan. See? And you can see the market even followed through. It's just that when price broke above here, it made this unnecessary push. Um, and then when we got that, let's see what the weekly does. The weekly now closes on the edge of 310 what? Our lower high here. So when price is at this level, I don't even trade now. So from this point, we're just praying the next weekly candle is something bearish. Okay? Because the moment price closes above, we go what? Bullish. Okay? So let's see what the weekly does. Okay. Um, nice. Okay. So at this point, you can see prices respected the OG level, right? And the daily time frame is also rapidly dropping. Okay. So now this gives us hope that price might even make another mini um, structure point and lead to the break that we need, then we can proceed with ourselves, right? It's, yeah. So we get that hope. But let's see what price does next. Price touches the level. We're waiting for the sheet. Okay. So now we get what? The actual position that we want, where we get the tiny pivot, you see. So that when price breaks below here, we don't have to worry about price coming back for the whole year. Because price has already made the what? The new lower high and the new lower low when it takes out this level. You see? Making a difference when price just breaks direct. Because this becomes your lower low and this your lower high. But in this case, this becomes our lower high and then lower low, which is so that's what happens. Okay. Price even makes a double bottom, a double top, which makes things even more interesting. I see, and promising. Now we know when price just breaks below here, it will be okay for sales. Now let's see what happens. Almost breaking. You see, we even reach here. See how many times price rejects from breaking? We have one, two, three, four, five, six. And the seventh candle does that. Then here, uh, the weekly closes in a very tight spot. See, because the moment it retests, when we think everything will be fine now, it get down, closes it's a bullish engulfing. So now I'm waiting for price to take out this phone so I can see, right? Let's see what happens. Okay, does this close? Let's see. So we come back here. But now price, what does price do? It ends up closing it the way I was avoiding, but that's when it ends up being. Then that's Friday. Okay. So since this is Friday, yeah, it's all right. Wait for it test here. And this retest is here. Now need the 4 hour to give us um no entry. So but we have to wait for our day. Why? Because price already broke below and sold more instead of breaking and coming back to give us an entry. Okay. So let's see what happens next. Okay. Now, let's see prices continues buying, tries to sell a bit, tries to sell a bit. Okay. So now you can see that the weekly ends up again buying back up in a doji just after breaking below and making this perfect double top. Now let's see what it does. Okay. So price now breaks above this level, you see? Mhm. So the moment price breaks above this level, it changes everything now, right? Why? Because now we are officially bullish, meaning this buy we are looking for failed to give us a chance. So we switch roles now, right? Okay. Mm, what did I do? Uh, so now we switch roles. We're no longer looking for this sell, which would have been very perfect. So you see, you don't complain or blame the markets or anything. You just switch. So now we're looking for buys where at this perfect place. Yeah. How is it perfect? You can see how many touches we are having here. Two, three, four. As many as you can count, right? So since we are now above, at this point, all we need is just what? The weekly to come back here. Then to what? We can buy. So let's see what the first week candle does. Okay. You can see that the weekly, this is back here. Now let's see what the daily time frame does also. Mhm. The daily time frame gets a very perfect retest fast. And look at what it does. It rejects, yes, as I was expecting. And this is the wording I was expecting. But we're far from my OG level. We're far. What does it do? Price buys, sells a bit. I started thinking you actually get the normal retest here. And then a shift since the daily high hasn't been taken out. Now look what happens. Price buys more and ends up what? Making a new high here. And then price has to come back here for us to buy more. You see? But that's not an OG level. Meaning when price comes back here, well, where I plan to sell, I'll wait for the daily to shift, right? Because we are now more bullish and this is our lower high, higher low. And let's see what happens. Price continues buying and price has now bought more. But what does this leave the weekly candle? Leaves the weekly candle with a what? With a scar. Which scar does it leave the weekly candle with? Hmm? With a scar of what? The price, where price is, there is a buying opportunity at this level. You see? So this one becomes another level. You see? Because price ends up making a higher low and a higher high. You see? So what's our way forward now in this? This is where we are now. We just simply wait for price come back here and see how it reacts in the daily time frame and the forward time frame. Okay. If this fails and breaks below, we are bearish and we have to start looking for ways to sell it. Okay. But for now, this is our setup. When we shift the daily time frame, you can also see that at the same point where we need price to test is also the daily OG level. It's just closer to my what? To my daily high low, as it's closer to my weekly high low. So what does this reminds me to do? That if I'm willing to sell this, the price is at this level, I have to wait for a very clear daily confirmation, right? Where the daily shows me that it's holding at this point, okay? And then you can continue with the buys, okay? So this is where I stand with this pair. Then the last pair of this session, which is our, is this second session? Yeah, is Euro GBP. Yesterday, I think last week, I spent a session trying to make you understand why this pair has been acting funny all this time, and it can easily give us our entry levels plainly. Okay, now look at how it stands. This is a higher, lower high, lower low, lower high, uh, lower low. You see? So for me to sell, any price to come back here and then what? Sell. So if you look at the forward time frame, uh, you can also see that this price is kind of funny. And you can also see that it really has no, now at least it would have been better. This was a lower high and a lower low. But this is my lower low and this is my lower high. So I only have one shot.
which is priced us to buy up to this level, and then we'll see if we get an entry the 4 hour and the 4 hour signal along the daily holding candle. And it's easy to let these trades play out. But with the look of things, this pair has just been, I like it, but I don't know what's been making it just really lose its grip. But by the look of things, the perfect spot where price can sell if it fails to sell at this level is at this point here. Though the daily will go bullish, meaning when the daily goes bullish, this pair will come and shift, and then you can call it a sell. Okay? Uh, mm, what do we do next? In here where I've put this line there, I think, oh, it's an out level. Now, you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 700 level. That's that price didn't react from this level. Yeah, yeah, right. So, well, so that's what's happening there. I really have nothing I can say or do about it. I just wait for price to retest and then it gives me a buy and I say, okay. But either one or another, the way the market works, market just has to retest. Okay? Yeah, either at this point or at that point, but it will retest. Okay? Because this is not abnormal. But this pair is already abnormal. And I've warned you from the beginning. That if you catch this pair in the right direction, you make a lot of money because it moves very fast. And once it moves, it continues in that direction for a while. Okay? That's the good part of this pair. Uh, anyway, I think that's what I can say about these pairs. Yeah. Mm. Did we see how the monthly ended? And the monthly ended very nice in a very bearish way. But look, just look at this was almost, I think this is just the first week of July. Yes, first week of July, Monday. Already see where price is. And this is the monthly time frame. This should show you how abnormal this price was. And it's underground. People don't pay attention to it. Like it moves. Trust me, it moves more than you always did. This pair, especially when you have it in your right hands, you have it in your Mine has a very volatile pair. Okay. Disaster doesn't have popularity compared to God. But Zambia doing this one, they would like them, they would have been messy, I can tell you. Because it's so fast. And let's see faster player like this. Mm, so I think that's it. And I'll see you. Lovely, lovely afternoon.
So what we are going to do now is finish up what we started. The reason why I just delayed this because I know I only have one pair which I can spend 20 minutes on. And then most of these are just spending pairs. Okay? Meaning I won't be trading them this week. Okay? If you want, you can even get analyze them now. So you can just remain with UCHF and close it out. Okay? So if you look at Eurocard right now, this price is supposed to be buying a long time now. But it in the weekly time frame, you can see that price has been came back here. Why is it supposed to be? You can remember what I was telling you in the morning that whenever you see price break with the high, expect it to retest the level that led to the break, and you can see it's what happened, right? So now you can see the weekly time frame, we tested and then bought. But how can I buy this now? Okay. If I switch to the 4 hour daily time frame, everything is fine, but I only have one bad part, right? Where you can see this is the higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. You see, that's the only mistake that happened is when price now made the lower low. You see? Because the moment you made the lower low, price was bearish. You see? This means I can only buy once price is above this level. This zone here. Okay. Or price has to shift. You see? And it has to shift at my daily OG levels, which is this one or this one here. Okay. But if you look clearly, when it shifts here, price then has to come back at this point to then buy. You see? That's the only way we can do this. If price breaks above and goes back being bullish, I have to wait for price to retest this level and then I can buy. Okay? Because if it doesn't do that, this means that I have to wait for price to come and take out this lower low and then make a new lower high and a new lower low and then shift at my OG level. You see? So it's either price does this where it breaks above this level here by going back bullish, or price breaks below this lower low and makes a new lower low and a lower high and then shifts so I can buy at my OG level here, not this OG level right there. Okay. So in this case, what I would love to do is waiting for the daily to break above that level is fine. It's really fine. But remember, I can only buy when price is at this level. You see? So this means if in the 4-hour time frame, price decides to break above, it has to come back here, meaning the 4-hour time frame will go bearish again. You see? When it goes bearish, again I have to wait for what? Price to shift on the 4-hour time frame, then buy. Okay? So by the look of this analysis, I think we can remove this from pending and put it to next week. Then we can drag Euro GBP pending because I need to see some more structure there. So now we have USD JPY, USD, GPUSD. Okay. This price has surprised me because I was supposed to be buying all this time. Okay. I was supposed to be buying, but imagine it ended up buying at a point where price would have easily gone bearish because of this weekly close. That's why I didn't even buy it because I saw how the weekly closed. I was so close to the shift, but then imagine what price did. It played down board. You see? And now it's at this weekly level. Okay. In the daily time frame, uh, I've it also bought at this level still, and it's at this OG level. So I think the only way I can buy this is if the daily comes back here and then buys. Okay. Because this is the shift that led to the buy, right? Okay, and I've already missed out on this buy, which was last week. So I can only buy if price comes back here, because this is the price point where price can retest. I can't buy here, even though I would want to buy at this point. I have to wait. I'll be buying in the middle of a trade because this trade, the way once entered here, it's supposed to come back, supposed to buy all the way up to this level. And if I enter my buy here, I'm buying just to join at this momentum of price coming back here, you see? Which is not right because that's just our fear of missing out, okay? Then as you can also see, the 4-hour time frame may even be convincing that we made the high, and this is a higher low, high. So we need price to come break above, retest, and can continue buying. Yes, this is fine, but if we enter at this level and suppose this is where price broke from, yes, and we enter our buys here and put our stop right there. And yeah, this is a nice 1 to 3. But look at the daily time frame. Look at the trade itself, how it's looking on the daily time frame. You see? You can clearly see that I'm just trying to join this trade. Yes, it's an OG level, but unless if price was to give me some daily structure here, that would convince me that okay, price is holding here and there's no point of price coming back here and then buying, right? Because at this point, like I told you, this is the level that led to the break. So in as much as it shifted now, in this case, if price wants, it can come back at this level. Meaning, if we say to our old rule where we say, if we have fear of missing, no fear of missing out, if we miss trade, we wait for price to come back to the level and give the same structure, meaning I need price to come back here and give me the same structure, you see? So then I'll just leave on pending for this week, you see, and see what price does. If it continues buying, that's fine. We just missed the trade. Then AUD you can also see that mm, this trade has the weekly has been bullish, as you can see. Almost the same with GBP USD, and all I've been waiting for is just the daily to shift, that's all. Okay. And as you can see, this is the daily lower high, and this is the daily lower low. So all this time, I've just been waiting for price to make a new lower high and a new shift. But I really wanted that to happen at this point here. Yeah, so I needed it to happen at this point so we can shift. You see, or even if price was to drop all the way down here, I'll know that once price breaks above, I'm back bullish. You see? But in this case, this means I can only buy if price takes out this high or price makes a lower low and then shifts, but without taking out the what? The weekly level. So this leaves this pair to pending. This other pair, on the weekly time frame, I was ready for buys the moment price would have taken out this weekly lower high, but price failed, so we are still bearish. But if you can look at the way the weekly is looking, this means we still need price to give us at least another bearish push to show us that price is still bearish. And in this case, the daily is very much bullish now. So I would want price to shift by taking out this, by doing something like this. That's the only way I would buy, I would sell. Okay. Price coming back here and then shifting so that my shift would happen at this OG level here. Yeah. But if it doesn't happen, this means that this trade is likely to buy, and the weekly is like the daily is going to be bullish, and we'll be buying the other week at this point. Okay. That's why I've left this one on pending. So as you can see, most of these, there are pairs that I'll either choose to trade this week or next week because of how they are looking. Uh, mhm. Even I think even USD card I can add it on pending just to reduce that. What? But now let's look at the last pair. The reason why we're supposed to do this video. Okay. So this is a very tricky part in this pair. This price is bearish, right? And price, as you can see, has closed with this should be, why do I always confuse evening star and morning star? Star, yeah, that should be morning star. Oh, it's evening star. Yeah. No, 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 not evening star. Yeah, it's an evening star candlestick. Okay. Yes, it is because of this. Don't always expect it to be the same way, okay? It will always be different. Look at this candlestick here. This is also evening star, and you see what happened? The moment you saw that price sold. So the moment you are seeing this in the weekly time frame, this means that price is going to sell. Okay? But how do we participate in this sale? And as you can see, if you enter this sale, our possible exit is this level here, right? In the weekly time frame. But when you switch to the daily time frame, what happens is price gets a very good daily shift here. But uh, which was led by this position here. But if we try to drag ourselves back here, you can see that there's a daily OG level, right? We have 1, 2, 3. Okay. So this means that this trade is valid to sell because this can also be a what? An OG level. Why? Because it respects the daily time frame. Okay. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3. So I'm not buying in the middle of anywhere, but I'm buying at the daily level, you see? So meaning if I enter this sale, my exit is not likely to be my weekly level, but this daily point here. Okay, but if you look at it, this is also my daily exit. Okay. So then what do we do? You can also see that price has made a very nice head and shoulder pattern. Okay. But this sale happened after this final push here. Okay. Then it led to the drop. So this is where I expect price to come and respect. So in this case, we're simply waiting for the daily to retest here and give us that sell, right? If you look at the 4-hour time frame, uh, the 4-hour time frame is very much bearish. Okay, how? You can see this is the 4-hour time frame. So this is the lower high and this is the lower low, and price hasn't done anything in between or above or below. So what would be nice is if price breaks below and then price comes back here, okay? Meaning I'll know the 4-hour is bearish and I'll just have to wait for the 4-hour to what? To shift and then sell. You see? Or even if price comes back here, because I already need price to retest this level here. It will obviously take out this position where I'm supposed to sell from here, meaning I'll be waiting for price to break below retest and then give me that sell. See? And in this case, when price breaks above this level, there's a high chance we'll go bullish, you see? So this means I'll still be waiting for price to give me what? A shift, then I can sell. Okay? And this can happen in large 4-hour structure candles just to make sure we are open with anything. Okay? So here, regardless of how price retest, either it makes a lower low or it doesn't, this is likely to happen. Okay? Then if that happens, we enter, put our take profit there. I can enter from here. Now stop right around this level. As our first, but if you want, can even drag it down here. Okay, and you can have that 1 to 6. The only thing we should be cautious of is the spread. So if we enter, it would be very nice that uh the close at least happens when price is around this level. Okay, so at this spread you're seeing here, this spread you're seeing here of extra 8 pips does not affect this move, okay? Because it's bad to close in such trades in drawdown, okay? It's very bad to close in drawdown here because most of the time price will just break, take you out because of the spread and then continue selling, okay? So we'll see if I can choose this. So for now, I'll keep it here. And in the next session, we'll have to just be all about choosing which pair to trade, okay? Because we've gone through everything now. So thank you for watching and God bless you all.